Okay, the unusual weapons of Lone Wolf and Cub Part 2. As a reminder, the very first strange weapon to show up in this manga was this very short spear that we see here, used early on, the very first assassination that we see in the comic, and if you recall, it was a hidden weapon, and it was hidden in plain sight as a handle for the baby cart. You just snap it off, reveal the blade, and use. Well, today's weapon, the second strange weapon to show up in this comic, is also part of the baby cart. In fact, our assassin is getting it ready in this panel, so if you saw the last video, then yeah, it's exactly the same arrangement, but it's kind of a different weapon this time. So the baby carriage has two fake handles, well, I guess you can use them as actual handles, two handle/hidden weapons. And by the way, you know, the grizzled assassin on his path to revenge, pushing a baby in the cart is definitely one of the enduring visuals that caused this story to become so popular. And we see that being leveraged here in one of the many cinematic takes. Remember last time the weapon, once revealed, was a very short spear, which is historically accurate, as far as they did have various kinds of short spears and hand-thrusting spears. But this time the revealed weapon is a samurai classic, a mainstay, the naginata, the Japanese glaive. A polearm with a long, curved, and very sharp blade on the end. And just like last time, we have a comic book weapon that is historically grounded but fantasy. Notice here he's revealed the naginata-like blade, but it's not just that nobody in feudal Japan ever hid one in a baby cart handle. This time there is, to my mind, a physical impossibility. For the blade to exist in that thin, rod-like handle, it really wouldn't be able to curve. I mean, not very much, that's for sure, but I think the manga creators wanted this second weapon coming off the cart to be a naginata or naginata-type weapon. Now, they don't always have to be as curved as they are in these examples here, but you can see what I'm talking about. How much curve could those blades possibly have if they were going to fit back within those shafts? Practically none, and in my mind, so little that there would be absolutely no point. You really just might as well have a straight bladed weapon, and a straight blade emerging would give you a yari, a spear. But here in this same first issue, he's already wielded one of those. He already has a hidden yari, so they went with the butcher-type blade. Here, by the way, is an antique naginata blade, a beautiful one, on a specimen that I have a video on this very channel. Here's another illustration of kind of the classic naginata shape, and you know, the fudging here is not a big deal, meaning in Lone Wolf and Cub, but it is something I noticed. Meanwhile, you certainly would not be able to hide a blade like this in any haft. I just showed that one for fun. So really, the hidden weapon in question should have been like the one we're seeing on the right instead of the one on the left. I, of course, say that because the one on the right is straight, but funny enough, it's actually too wide to fit into that haft as well. But still, it should have been a lot more like that one. So here's another naginata from the actual manga. And you can see that the creators definitely knew what a proper one should look like. But let's get back to the one in question. In case you're thinking, well, this one looks pretty straight to me. Are you sure it's even supposed to be a curved blade? You know, it doesn't really look there like it's trying to emulate something like this. Or like one of these. How beautiful are all of these examples, by the way, including the last picture. But let's go back to the manga one more time because we are nerding out as much as humanly possible. To be double sure, here's a scene where the cart is overturned and somebody discovers the hidden naginata. And it clearly has a broad curved, you know, slightly curved glaive-like blade. Like I said earlier, a little bit of artistic license, nothing wrong with that. Well, that's it for installment 2. Thanks for watching.